Hey guys, and CSPan001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Monday, September 7th, 2020. Hope you guys are having a good Labor Day by the time this goes up, because I know a lot of people here in the US will be off of work on Monday and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, this will have covered the week of August 31st through September 6th. I gotta say, August went by a lot faster than most of the other months this year, at least it felt like it did. Anyway, there is quite a bit to talk about this week, although not all of it's specifically related to my trophy list. There's about 5 games I want to bring up before we actually get started looking at my list. So the first thing I want to bring up is that, we're in a new month, so make sure to log on to GTA 5 a couple times to get your free $1 million. I've been doing that. I've actually won a couple of vehicles in my more recent logins from the casino, which is surprising. So just make sure to do that. Secondly, The Outer Worlds should be having its first DLC release like Tuesday, I think. I want to say it's September 9th. Or no, maybe September 9th. Well, it's supposed to be like this week that we're supposed to get the first of at least 2 Outer Worlds DLCs, which is pretty awesome. So that'll be kind of cool. I don't know when I will buy it and go back to it, but I will at some point in the future. Then, Borderlands 3 is supposed to have its final DLC out sometime this month. I don't know exactly which day, but it's also supposed to be out this month. So that's pretty awesome that we'll be able to get to 100% completion in that game, even though the Season Pass is still way too expensive. So, then the next game I want to bring up is Destiny 2, which I did do my Ascendant Challenge in and did all my other weekly stuff I usually do. Still have not had any luck getting those last 2 weapons. Let me pull up what they are, but there's still 2 weapons missing, plus the Secret Victories emblem, of which I need to complete the last 2 Ascendant challenges over these next 2 weeks. The weapons are the Vouchsafe and the Twilight Oath. So those are the only other 2 weapons I need for my Destinations badge, as well as the Secret Victories emblem, which I am working on, of course, by doing the Ascendant challenges. So theoretically, I could have that done within a couple of trophy updates. Now, I'll still have to do the raid, but at least I could get this stuff done. So hopefully won't be any more DLC trophies when the new season or whatever it is going to be starts up. I wouldn't be surprised though if they do add in something new because it's going to completely overhaul the game. So that's that. And then finally, I want to ask a quick question to you guys. I'm looking into starting Battlefield 5 at some point because I'm thinking about maybe doing the numbered battlefields. So Battlefield 1, which is 100% complete, Battlefield 3, which I'm working on the 100% completion, Battlefield 4, which I have not started yet, and then Battlefield 5, the game that was basically dead in the water the second it released. So I've heard things about the game that it's constantly impossible to platinum because certain game modes or maps and stuff like that are getting taken out of rotation constantly, and that there is supposed to be some kind of rent-a-server feature in the game that's constantly broken though. So if anyone's been doing Battlefield 5 in 2020, please let me know what your experience has been and if it's even worth considering, because it's currently on sale for $14 or $15, so I don't know, I might pick it up and stream it at some point if people recommend that I do it. I'm just a little bit apprehensive because of some of the stuff I've been reading about the game being just horribly broken. And that was one of the reasons I didn't really want to start it in the first place, was just because I've heard about it being horribly broken. And then finally, before we get started looking at my list, it looks like you guys were definitely happy with hearing that I don't really want to do many more EU stacks anymore. I'm just going to stick with North American PS4 and Vita, unless it's a game that I really want to play, or that's actually really good, or that I already own. And in those cases, I'll still finish those games, because I'll show you guys what I have in my EU game folder. We have Zeus Quest Remastered, Suicide Guy, Pick-a-Pix Color, The Last Wind Monk. Those are all slightly longer games that require just a little bit more effort. Then we have Sigi, A Fart for Melusina. I don't really know what this game is, but I've had it in here for forever. I've had these last 5 in here for forever. Then we hit some Ratalaika games, Peasant Knight, Metagal, Iron Snout. I think my big sister is Ratalaika, but I'm not sure. Cybarian. I do have Firewatch in here, which is 100% not a platinum, and it's actually a good game. Football Game, and Road Bustle. This one I didn't have at this time last week. I actually bought it because I had exactly £1 left in my European account. So, figured might as well spend it on this. And it was actually only 79 pence, I think, so I've still got a little bit left over. So, I just went ahead and picked it up because I'm not going to waste that £1 that I have in there. So, anyway, As for the actual trophies that I earned this week, we made progress in 2 games, and I'll go ahead and sync it up now while I'm actually remembering. So 2 games this week, including 1 platinum. The big game, of course, is Battlefield 3, in which I am now completely done with all of the DLCs, but I think I made some progress in the base game as well, so everything through here is single player related. Then we have our co-op trophies. I didn't earn anything in co-op this week. I'm not really looking forward to co-op because I think it's going to be kind of annoying. But now we get to the actual multiplayer trophies from the base game. You have the 3 vehicle warfare ribbons, the 4 weapon efficiency ribbons, and the 4 support efficiency ribbons, all of which will be earned along the way to receiving one of each ribbon in the game. A lot of these are pretty easy, but a few of them do require some more time and skill to get. You have to play and win a match in pretty much every base game mode, and some of them are completely dead now to where you're going to have to boost them. Most of the other ones are fairly easy though, like the weapons efficiency and vehicle warfare. A lot of this stuff's pretty easy and it'll come while going for all the other trophies in the game. But the one thing I still needed really that took me the longest time was probably the surveillance efficiency ribbon. Just because it's kind of hard to do with the TUG system, you kind of need the MAV to do it. And because of the boosting group, which I will talk more about that in a second. But then there is 3rd MVP as well as 2nd MVP and MVP in a ranked match, which are just finishing 3rd, 2nd, and 1st in a match respectively. Very easily boosted, and I earned the other one a long time ago, but the other 2, I'm just not really good enough at the game in these days where it's mostly really pro players with a lot of good equipment and such. Take a single enemy dog tag. That's for getting a melee kill. You're not going to have a problem with that. Or I think it's kind of a melee kill, but you have to do it from behind more stealthily. But anyway, rank 45 is the last true online trophy I have left, along with the co-op mode. I'm not really going to look much at the co-op yet until I finish this. But I'm currently a rank 35 out of 45. There's a really easy way to grind XP in this game, and it's to... what you need to do is you go to a big map that has stationary weapons on it, and if you have a 4-person group, what you do is you have 3 players on one team, 1 player on the other team. Of those 3 players, have 2 of them be medics and 1 of them have C4, and then have the C4 person and 1 of the medics group together and throw C4 down. Then have the solo player shoot that block of C4 with a stationary weapon. It'll kill both of them. The other medic can revive them, and you'll get tons of XP just for the kills, as well as all the ribbons and the eventual medals that come from getting enough of the ribbons. You'll be able to level up relatively fast with that method. It's about the fastest method, but with a big group, it can take a little while. So I got to level 35, not quite naturally by doing everything else, because I had done a little bit of XP boosting last week. But we're making progress on that, just 10 more levels, so that's the only thing left I need. Most of the boosting group is in the same boat of mainly needing the rank up trophies, maybe 1 or 2 of the ribbons, and a couple of the miscellaneous trophies. But as for the actual miscellaneous trophies from the DLCs that I'm now done with, you have this one right here. You have to get a kill with a tank, assault rifle, and jet in a single life. That one is not easy. You are going to most likely have to boost that one even back in the day, because this game has some of the worst flying controls I've ever seen in a game. Both the planes and the helicopters especially. The helicopters are just impossible to control with any real consistency. It's just really, really annoying. I don't know why they thought that was well made. Then you have to get a kill each with the BTR-90, the DPV, and the F-35. That's very easy. You can do it over the course of multiple matches. You have to get 10 kills with each of the back-to-Karkland weapons. You can get a lot of them by playing Scavenger or Gunmaster. They'll pop up depending on the maps. But the easiest method by far is to have someone drop the weapons for you and just get 10 kills with them in a boosting group, which is what my group did. So the one weapon that was giving us a lot of trouble was the MK3A1. It's a shotgun. That one was giving us a lot of trouble just because no one actually had it, and it's kind of a rare spawn in Scavenger, but we did eventually get it. It was the last gun I needed for this particular trophy. And that's the reason I didn't stream this weekend, by the way, guys, was because I was working on Battlefield 3. And in the end, it was worth it because I got all of the DLC and all of the ribbons done to where all I have left is co-op and XP grinding. So the progress was worthwhile. Kill with a skid loader isn't particularly easy. You definitely want to boost this one, especially because it's not on a lot of the maps that are still played. And then just swim in the Oman Hotel swimming pool. That one's pretty self-explanatory. That's probably one of the easiest trophies in all of the DLC. Then Close Quarters, I did not have this one done last week either, so you have to win a round of Conquest Domination. That's pretty easy because that's just a specific mode as long as you boost it because the mode's dead otherwise. You have to get all these kills in a single life, carbine, pistol, and rocket launcher. That's not terrible, but it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world. Definitely would still recommend boosting it. Jump off the side of Zeba Tower. That's extremely easy as long as you can find the map. Otherwise, you can just do it in a boosting lobby. Complete a single round of Gunmaster. I think people still play this mode a fair bit, so you can probably get this one because you simply have to complete the round. And then finally, you have to get 10 kills with each of the close quarters weapons. The hardest one here is the M5K because it doesn't appear in all the other game modes. Like, it doesn't appear in Gunmaster, I don't believe. It's the only one that doesn't out of these. But most of the weapons, including the M5K, appear in Scavenger. Plus, of course, you can just boost them if someone in your group already has the weapons. So that's good. This one, like I said, I think this DLC was just a little bit easier with the kills with the special weapons trophy. Armored Kill was already done last week. It's fairly easy. You have to get 1 kill with the gunship, which is very easy. You just cap a C flag in an Armored Kill map. You have to get 10 kills with each of the 4 total tank destroyers and mobile artillery, so a total of 40 kills. A kill with the quad bike, just run someone over with it. I mean, once again, we're boosting all of these. You need to boost most of these because of dead game modes and stuff. Win a round of tank superiority, just, you know, once again, you're going to have to boost it because the mode's dead, I think. And then destroy the gunship. It's a little bit tougher because the flight controls are so terrible, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And then Aftermath. This was the hardest DLC for us, I would say, because of the Expo stuff. Because unlike the other weapons, you can't just have someone drop you the Expo for these trophies. You actually have to... Well, a couple of them, like these two, you can get with a dropped Expo. This one you cannot get with a dropped Expo. This one you will have to get legitimately... I mean, you can still do it through boosting. But to get the Expo parts, first you have to win 3 rounds of Scavenger, which is kind of a dead mode. And then once you win your 3 rounds, there are like 4 or 5 parts after that you have to unlock, which require you to do things like get a certain number of distance headshots with like different weapons, the sniper rifle, the assault rifle, and the carbines. You have to get a certain number of sniper rifle kills, and you have to get a certain number of pistol headshots. You have to... There's just a bunch of requirements. I don't remember them off the top of my head. But you can, thankfully, boost all of them. It's still just annoying because it takes quite a while to get through. It's mostly the designations and the designated vehicle assist destruction that's the hardest ones. Then you have to find a secret reptile. It's on a specific map. Just load up the map in a boosting lobby and you're good to go in a private server. Destroy a vehicle with the Expo, as well as getting a kill with the Expo, primary, and handgun in a single life. Those are both, like I said, can be done by having someone drop you the Expo, or you can just do it once you've grinded your way to unlocking the Expo. And then pick up 50 weapons in Scavenger is very easy as long as you can find a match of Scavenger. And then Endgame I was also done with. This is mainly Capture the Flag. You have a couple Capture the Flag trophies here. The transporting a flag carrier, you don't actually have to bring them back to your base. You just have to pilot for a few seconds. Capture single flag. But then you have 3 more miscellaneous trophies, so you have to get a kill from the passenger position on a motorcycle, which is not a sidecar. That's why the trophy's written that way, but that's pretty easy. Just shoot someone from it. Destroyed an air vehicle using an AA Jeep is pretty easy as well. And then killing an enemy with any paradropped vehicle, doesn't matter if you were the one that spawned it or not. So Endgame and Armored Kill are both very easy. Those were the fastest and easiest of the DLCs. Close Quarters and Back to Karkland are easy if you boost them, aside from those 10 weapon kills with each weapon, which, I mean, they're still much easier boosted, but it still takes some time. And then Aftermath, of course, you actually have to finish all the Expo stuff, which is kind of annoying. But in the end, the DLC is done. The game's at 71% completion. All that's left in the multiplayer is ranking up 10 more times, as well as the co-op trophies. So yeah, that's honestly really, really good progress. I'm glad to have made it that far. I mean, it was worth even not getting to stream this weekend because it was a lot of great progress, and hopefully I will be done with the multiplayer by the end of this coming week. I don't know where I'll be sitting with the co-op. I don't know if I'll be able to get through it. I might also start playing through the campaign on hard just to start working on it. It's not a particularly long campaign by any means. And then my lone platinum of the week, where I also earned plenty of trophies. I earned almost every trophy in the game this week. The only one I didn't get was for completing the prologue, because that was my 19,000th trophy. But it's Planet of the Apes, Last Frontier. This is the North American version. It has a North American and a European version. I bought the European version on the sale a long time ago. Then the North American version actually has a disc that I got through GameFly, which is awesome. So I got through this platinum. This is an extremely easy platinum, but it's an extremely low completion rate. As you can see, it's actually an ultra rare on here. I want to say it's like 29% on PSN profiles last I checked, so it's a lot higher there, but it's still way lower than a lot of more difficult even games on PSN profiles, because you have like, I mean, The Last of Us 2, I think, has like a 50% completion rate or something, and Spider-Man has a really high rate, Horizon has a high rate, God of War, a lot of those games have higher platinum rates than this one. And I assume it's just because this game's really boring and repetitive with what you have to do to get the platinum, because it's an extremely easy platinum. It's up there with the Telltale games, because literally all you have to do is pick between one of two dialogue choices for about 3 hours straight, and a few times you'll have to choose to either do or not do an action choice. So, like, just hitting the X button. So it's extremely easy, and they give you infinite time to make your decisions. They don't give you infinite time for the action choices, but everything else gives infinite time. It's just that you're going to have to beat the game a minimum of 3 times with clever save backups and reloading of saves. If you don't, then you might have to do, like, up to 6 playthroughs to get the platinum, which would just be awful because the game takes, like, 3 hours to beat. And here's the thing, like, it might be different if every ending felt different, but the endings are not all that different from one another. Most of the endings are, well, I mean, not even just that, but just most of the choices don't really seem to make much of a difference, and the dialogue and cutscenes aren't really any different for the most part, so it's not really that interesting. It definitely does not have that much replayability for a game that sports, multiple endings and a lot of dialogue options. So that's the only real issue with that part of the game. Plus, this game's like 45 gigs, which is equally as ridiculous because that's a lot for such a small game. But as for the actual trophies, I don't remember what each one of them specifically are, but I think that this one has something to do with one of the human winning endings, but I'm not sure. This is for getting the best possible ending, which is one of the more common trophies. It's basically, go with your instincts and be intelligent if you're doing this, without a guide, which I highly do not recommend. I absolutely would say use a guide so you can get through the platinum as quickly as possible. This one I think you get by doing the human ending where Jess is still in charge of the town. This is the very last trophy I got, but it results in one of the ape endings. This one goes hand in hand with this one if you're going for all the trophies at the same time in the same playthrough. The peaceful ending where the apes and the humans make peace. You have any scenario in which the apes win. I think there's like 2 to 3 variations of each of these 2 endings, so do keep that in mind. So it's like 6 or 7 total endings. The only trophies you're guaranteed to get are the ones through Blood for Blood. So those are 5 trophies you get for completing actual chapters in any way. And then you just have lots of other miscellaneous trophies based on picking specific dialogue choices. That's literally all it is just specific dialogue choices. I don't remember exactly which ones are which, but I mean, it's very easy as long as you're following a guide. Just pick specific dialogue options and you're good to go. I mean, there's not really a whole lot more to say about it. It's a very simple, very easy platinum that just takes a very long time, or just longer than it really should, because you can't like skip dialogue or anything, which is annoying. Like, they should have made it so you could skip all of the downtime in the playthrough on any subsequent playthroughs once you've beaten the game once. Like, don't allow you to skip it on your first playthrough, but allow you to skip it on future playthroughs. Because it's clear that they at least tried to put some effort into the game. Like, it's certainly not the worst game I've ever played, not even by a long shot. I mean, it's just boring having to go for all that stuff to get the platinum. So, with that, level 76, 99%, so we'll hit level 77 this week. 19,072 total trophies, 461 platinums, 2,675 golds, 5,011 silvers, 10,925 bronzes. So, goal for this week is to finish ranking up in Battlefield 3. I blanked out for a second. So finish up on Battlefield 3, at least with the online, not necessarily the co-op. I doubt I'll get done with that this week. So aside from that, I want to start working on Advanced Warfare again. I want to go back to that. I've actually got a boosting group set up for the few trophies that I'm currently missing. So hopefully I can get close to being done with Advanced Warfare by the end of the week. I'll do my typical Destiny 2 stuff and be much closer to the Triumph Seal once again. And I think I might try to grab a few of my new easy platinums that I recently purchased. As you can see, I have a massive folder now. There's a lot of games in here. Just from these most recent sales, there's so many Palgi games and so many Rataleka games that went on sale. So hopefully I can actually get a few of these platinums this week. I'll probably go for a couple of them just to start cleaning them out. And I mean, I don't feel as guilty about it now that I'm not usually doing EU stacks of them. There's a few, of course, that'll still have EU stacks because I already own the European versions of the games. But that's really about it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As for streaming and stuff this week, the schedule should be pretty normal unless I get caught up in another boosting session at a really weird time because, you know, we're scattered all over the country and around the world to where we have to boost sometimes at weird times, and that's kind of got to take priority. But you know, it's almost done, and once it's done, we're done with the PS3 era, probably forever for online trophies. It'll be a relief to have it done. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you this week for more content.